Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. We are from Group 2. My name is Firna Iranda and my partner is Fatma Izzatunnida. And today we are going to discuss about Chapter 2, a methodical history of language teaching. A methodical history of language teaching. The first step toward developing a principled approach to language teaching will be to turn back the clock about a century to learn from the historical cycles and trends that have brought use to the present day. This chapter focuses on methods as the identifying characteristic of a century of modern language teaching efforts. Edward Anthony, 1963, divided into three parts. The first one is approach. Approach is a set of assumptions dealing with the nature of language learning and teaching. The second one is method. Method was described as an overall plan for systematic presentation of language based upon a selected approach. And the third is technique. Technique is where the specific activities manifested in the classroom that were consistent with a method and therefore were in harmony with an approach as well. And next, Richards and Theodore Rodgers, 1982. Method was an umbrella term for the specification and interrelation of theory and practice. Richards and Theodore Rodgers divided into three parts, and the first one is approach. Approach defines assumptions, beliefs, and theories about the nature of language and language learning. And the second one is design. Design specifies the relationship of those theories to classroom materials and activities. And the third is procedure. Procedure is techniques and practices that are derived from one's approach and design. Next, changing winds and shifting sands. Albert Marquardt, 1972, saw this. Changing winds and shifting sands as cyclical pattern in which a new method emerged about every quarter of a century. Each new method broke from the old but took with it some of the positive aspects of the previous practices.
The grammar translation method. 1. Classes are taught in the mother tongue, with little active use of the target language. 2. Much vocabulary is taught in the form of lists of isolated words. 3. Long, elaborate explanation of the intricacies of grammar are given. 4. Grammar provides the rules for putting words together, and instruction often focuses on the form and inflection of words. 5. Reading of difficult classical texts began early. 6. Little attention is paid to the content of texts, which are treated as exercises in grammatical analysis. 7. Often the drills are exercises in translating disconnected sentences from the target language into the mother tongue. 8. Little or no attention is given to pronunciation. Designer of Methods of Spirited 1970. The first one is Community Language Learning, or CCL. Carlos Curran, 1972, created a classical example of an effectively based method, what he called the counseling learning. The social dynamic of such a group were of primary importance. Methodology. The group of silent or students having first established in their native language and interpersonal relationship and trust were seated in a circle with the counselor or teacher on the outside of the circle. As they talked, the counselor translated the dialogue in the taken language or English. The learner repeated that English sentence as accurately as possible. Second one is suggestopedia. He believed that the human brain could process great quantities of material if given the right condition for learning, which are a state of relaxation and giving over of control to the teacher. The third one is the silent way. Taleb Gategno, 1972. Learning is facilitated if the learner discovers or creates rather than remember and repeat what is to be learned. Learning is facilitated by accompanying or meditating physical objects. Learning is facilitated by problem solving involving the material to be learned. The fourth one, total physical response or TPR. James Asher, 1977. The instructor is the director of the stage play in which the students are the actors. Students did a deal of listening and acting. The teacher was very directive in orchestrating a performance. Imperative mode was utilized to take even into more advanced levels, introduced by humor to make atmosphere comfortable enough for the learning process. And the last one is the natural approach. Stephen Krashen, 1980-1997. The teacher should provide the basic comprehensible input, communication skill for everyday language situation. Learners don't to say during this silent period until they feel ready to do so. The teacher is the source of the learner's input, stimulating variety, classroom activities, games, kids, comments, and the like. Beyond methods, National Functional Syllabus. A. Began with the work of Council of Europe and its use in the UK in the 1970s. B. Attention to functions as the organizing element of English language curriculum. Grammatical structure serves as the organizer. C. It focuses on the pragmatic purposes to which we put the language. D. It wasn't a method, but it was close to what they call an approach.
Okay, everyone.
Thank you.
I think that's all, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.